Alright guys, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the absolutely best live stream scheduled ever. And I think... yeah, so today we're just going to work on our magazine creator. Just finish that up. And I believe I opened the wrong project file. That's pretty funny. I think this should be the correct one. Depends on what we have open, really. But yeah, hopefully all of you are doing decently well today. Close a bunch of things very quickly. Oh yeah, got to close everything. Good. If you didn't know, I am not a streamer. So we have the belt link screen here. So I will need to open that first. So what we got here right now is having the different belt link types, having what we want for the cartridge here, and additional metalwork for each of the individual belt links. So that's going to be very interesting. Let's just start off by looking at what we have done so far. And I think we should put it here. So it has it named as Magazine UI 2. And that's correct because that's not a magazine. So just have it set as part of the belt link UI. It looks a bit freaky. So we just have that connected, and I'll change that to better reflect what's happening here, so I don't get myself into some weird naming in the future. Okay, so right now we have add items, Notepad++ open. That's very convenient. So we have these two option lists from arrays, which is correct. So before we get into more of this specifically, I just want to connect this to the screen Just kind of rename this to better suit what we actually want. And what am I thinking about? So in the cartridge screen here, sorry, magazine UI. Let's open that up. And then here we will need to add what we want here. That was a bit late. We're gonna have this. We're gonna have one more in the type. So I believe here, you guys just go into global info and then change that part, and it will work. Anti-infantry, not here. Okay. So here we will add the extra belt option. And with these, we don't really want them to... Oh dear, what's happened? Here we have magazine belt. That should work. Here we have to connect the belt something. Let's say we take this and then we duplicate that. My fingers seem to be in some pain absorbing moisture. Wow. They're that dry. Apparently. I think one of them... There's two that are clearly a rash, which I've applied ointment on. It's a bit weird since it's not apparent that it's a rash. Just like, hey, what's up? But yeah, this portion of your skin is dry for no reason. No lotion will work on it. I'm definitely not hiding something sinister. So, it goes on the bottom now. Oh, what's the design of this one? I think I should make like a slightly bigger button. I think they use the exact same font though, so I'm not sure. What's this one called? Okay. This one is going to be called currently do both capitals. That's my convention for this. Well, that makes sense since we had a underscore. Don't know why I'm blanked out on that. And here with the belt designer, what we want to do is we want to do a transfer, so we're going to probably send a signal. Okay. So we're going to name it like this. And then we're just going to emit that signal and then move over. So we have magazine call belt link here. That one's pretty simple. Now I need to make this opposition actually affect things. And I've created a really interesting system for that. Because UI is like that with reactive objects. You can't just do like exclusivity linkings that quickly. So here, again, we have, pretty sure I'm using another show or hide class. Sorry, function. Yeah, this one's not a show or hide checkbox. I don't think I have any checkbox actions here, actually. Now that I'm looking at it. So with that belt designer here, what we can do, let's just put that in. That's interesting how the rest of it all buttons. I believe I'm doing index 3. And then we simply, whoops. The composition for that doesn't matter for that, but maybe I'm feeling a bit lazy. Here about link. Spelling it very inconsistently based on what setting. Omit here. We have magazine call belt link again. Great. Let's open up the game's script. Very interesting having to do all of these different initializations. It's quite worth it after a time because of the performance savings that we get with opening every single little thing. I feel like my commentary is a bit reminiscent to Peter Hein Nielsen. I don't know if you guys have been watching Tata Steel at all. Swarmerdam's game against Vaishali was especially brutal today. Wait a second, what? So we can call this, and what is this? What about assign our belt link UI? Do that. Move you up. So we have that in play. Like, I have a bunch of those old ones. I think I can delete most. Will anything break? Moment of truth. Okay, nothing broke. Oh, wow. Wait, is it actually connected? No way. Are there two switchers here? That's interesting. No, it doesn't, because if it had an error, it would tell me. That's a good thing about it. Also, yeah, Jordan Van Forest's game against Geary was also very interesting for today. With the Burgosen exchange prep with H4. That one was very interesting. But yeah, the winning continuations were all a bit too computery. Especially with his last chance, where it seemed like there was a lot happening, but the winning continuation was with King H2, and that was for an extremely concrete line. Because Black had, I think, too many options that White couldn't really see in that position, which is quite interesting. When I usually get into the Ragozin myself, when I play d4, I go for the Aliakin variation. I think Aronian showed how to do it, but his was also very different with Queen b3. Just go for the main line back to c2, and then like a3, bishop d3. And those lines, Black does a lot of d takes e4 stuff. I think with e5, I haven't gone too deep into that. I've gone mostly deep for mainly like the Catalan sidelines with the setup. Well, that's not really prep, that's just understanding the position's characteristics, which is obviously more important. The pellet uses this? Really? So here I'm gonna have to make one for this. So here I'm going to switch myself. So, screen. This one is link. This one should ideally go to I think I'm spacing it for simple stuff. That's what matters. Oh, okay. So I don't think Belt Link should have such a global signal. What is it called? So here I'll just copy this good naming convention and then replace it. This one is Beltlink New Material. And the point of this is to connect here. Editor equals 7. This one makes it go from the link UI to serial screen. So those should be connected. At least the one that we're working on should be connected ideally. Hopefully it actually does. Okay. Oh, okay. How did I do this one before? Let's see. I know that I'm supposed to get the material name. Should be up here. So I have this global material array. Oh, okay, so I have option list from global material, and I needed this function. Thank you, passed me. Love you. Sometimes that may change, but but this time we already have the systems in place, so it was a pretty easy fix. I like how fast the game boots up. I think he was just the editor. I haven't really recorded load times. Linux takes a few seconds from what I recall from memory, but what we have been doing right now has made it quite a bit different. So if we press the belt designer here, we can now go to the belt link menu, and now we have here. And we have our non-disintegrating belts. We can input our name and load our cartridge. So that isn't functional yet. Oh, we also need our metalwork. Kinda forgot that. So let's put in our UI functions. These are my own self-made UI functions, by the way. I think the UI in this game was suited just in general for a lot more, or in Godot for like a more limited scope where you already know what you want to do. In cases like these, they don't expect me to stretch it this far, but they've let me have the opportunity to modify those option lists however I want. In this case, I have a lot of things that I want to modify, so I'm glad that they gave that option. That's the thing I like. It's very understandable, especially with documentation nowadays. I don't know if people had experience with the old indie documentation when it was good. Now, unfortunately, it isn't. Now, that's a whole different topic altogether. Never mind the fact that I don't really use Unity, so I'm not the expert for that. Well, how did that autocorrect to that? Being a bit sloppy. Here we have our other one, just to pretty sure I labeled them correctly in order. I remember that was one big headache for the past Rixas iteration. was that it really sucked in terms of readability and also the UI scalability, because that was all manually done, not in the nice UI fashion we have right here. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and we have great. So we should have this. This needs to be connected. One hasn't been connected yet. And we will get this function. The underscore is actually very interesting. It shows the Godot engine that it must be used, and it gives an error when it does. So that's just a special, unique naming convention thing for Godot. I think people might adopt this habit for some other things that they do. Well, it's just for this built-in IDE that uses this. Okay, should be good. Here, let me test this out. When I press something, I want it to immediately disengage. How do I do that? Pop-up menu. This is the pop-up class in the Godot documentation. Godot pop-up class. Here. Those are signal. I'll take this pop-up menu. I don't even have to reload it. That was a bit silly of me. Anyways, over here we have this. So that shows some confirmation, and then it immediately brings it down, which is what I was looking for. That's great. What's everyone's favorite instant ramen flavor? Here we can choose these and these, and then save properly, I assume. This is nice though. I would say my favorite instant ramen flavor. No, some kind of chicken. Well, not like chicken, but it must be at least a little bit spicy. There's one that I have right now, which is udon and some type of green bulgogi flavor, and it's really bad. It's just sweet. Like, drinking it is actually not terrible, but you're not supposed to drink it. Kind of the problem. Okay. Well, let's just make sure my class has everything down. Great. Is there anything else I need here? Back first. Let's do this one first. I have the back magazine signal. I think I do. Okay, so I do have it in my system. That's great. We have the cartridge there. We have to update save list. Good. So here we have feed to belt length class, which I think is accurate. So we have that, we have update save list, we have load a new cartridge, cartridge pressed, pop-up cartridge load, index pressed. Move button item, easy drop down select. Next one up is load design pressed. Okay. This absolute Chad. Damn, look at that. Isn't that really cool? And over here we will have I think I used the rect position. I remember something not working. Where was the thing not working? I actually believe it was in my most recent firearm usage screen that I had a issue. So on load rest. Oh, I could just use get global position. Oh yeah, I remember. The reason why it wasn't working, I think, was that I was just not at the right thing. That was just hilarious. What people I care about are safe. That's good. Always a good thing. Otherwise, back to your regularly scheduled programming. There's some skid stuff I have to go through. This one, I just want... want to save this thing. If you had a cool look into my repertoire, here looking into some e5, knight c6, here we have the 4-knight Scotch. So of course we are going to take, and this is, we're just going to transpose, I think, but this is going to be a Scotch line. So main line after castles, b5, challenging white point in the center. Point is, if they move, they're overextended for sure. So after bishop here, we give up our bishop pair and we take here. And we take this. And here, after white takes and then rook here, you just have a completely dry endgame position. That would be pretty typical. Let's see what other options will be thrown at us today. Alright, so here, this is the vendor wheel. And to be very solid, basically whenever white doesn't want to really contest the center too hard, we can just go ahead and immediately play d5. After takes, white taking here isn't good. So we'll take, and we kind of get the Scotch with colors reversed. But in this case, with the bishop poorly placed on e2, have a bit more fun with bishop here, Opposite just wins, so I can't do that. Yep, this is the fun Halloween gambit. White sacks a piece for pod in exchange for the full center and getting ahead in development. Here the antidote is C6. Pretty sure the rest of the stuff that you can solve over the board. Another Halloween gambit. So here's where it gets really interesting, the 4-night Spanish. There might be a Scotch line that's interesting, but I think that's very dry as well. And the point of this is to really to get the dry positions that we want to play. Picture for Edgin. Here with the 4-night Spanish. Okay. Range variation. In this line, we both have the bishop pair, which is quite interesting. This queen is interestingly placed. It might be misplaced in the future, so we would want to move it. Here, white doesn't want to trade directly into an endgame line. After bishop c5 and castles, we could potentially play d5 or something in the future, but yeah, it's probably the way to go with d5, so the bishop can head back to d6, c6. The structure here is a bit harder for white to mobilize, so we should be fine overall, but those chances are going to be difficult. And if a4, we can just go directly into the Scotch. Scotch with colors reversed. Very similar theme. Here white is a tempo up, so we do have to be a little careful. But now they've let us develop to all the nicest squares. And just applying pressure here. If they double here, we can just double back. Nothing spectacular. Another 4-night Scotch line. Here we do have the captain first, since that's pretty unsafe. Here's is the main line that I've played once. So far, probably a lot more. But here, this also leads to a very equal position most of the time. In that game, I was actually worse, but managed to equalize after. It's quite interesting. So here, the knight back variation, this is a forced draw. If I remember correctly, we take back here first. This pawn here is interesting. We take back, move our bishop back, rook e8, and this bishop here simply becomes a target. And we can just win the pawn. White gets to transfer their queen. Here is this very interesting position. I don't exactly remember the main way for black to play. I did look at this before. But we get some type of compensation here. And we can even trade queens. Quite interesting. Here we have, okay. The study system is very strange in how it works. You wish you did something better on chessable or chess tempo. This variation. Four knights. I might get a chance to look at another 4-knight Spanish line. Yeah, so another Rubinstein. This one is Queen E7. And we attack. D3. Here we get to win the pawn back. Don't know, not sure what that knight's doing. Oh yeah, this is the forcing variation with King F2. White should be perfectly fine here. But this one is just a little bit of a curveball. See if black can calculate correctly. Threatening checkmate. Threatening checkmate still. As the knight's blocking, we no longer threaten checkmate. Pretty sad. And now we can take, and white is threatening here, so we play this nice move there, and we defend our pawn, overprotect. That's definitely going to come out of fire. Here, the main plan, bishop e7, g7, sorry. We can possibly attack that mass over there. Ugh. Another boring Rubinstein variation. This one's more of the endgame line. Bishop back. Oh, that is the move. What am I thinking? Yeah, so this should be fine for me. Oh my goodness. Another Halloween gambit. Okay, so we have another 4-knight Spanish. Let's see what problems white tries to pose this time. This one is an interesting one with bishop c4. The point here is that we just keep on developing, play d6 if we're allowed. And if white still wants to do more of an opening fight, they can. And they're going to go temporarily up a pawn. Here d5 works. The knight takes line, giving the pawn back, but rearranging the knight to defend the king, which is quite clever. And here the move that you definitely need to try. Bishop there, bishop here. And now what we kind of want to do is take the bishop on e7, and we're fine. So that will bring their queen out, but rest assured, they're still quite behind, and we can just go ahead and long castle. Now we can take, and we can't really go directly for that pawn. We check here, d3 has to be played. But I know that's more of in some people's styles in which they prefer. I'm a strong player anyways, you need to kind of have those preferences. So this particular endgame, it's again even. White looks like they're a bit worse, but they can all solve their problems concretely, which is actually really cool. Alright, so that's good. Back to the game. Let's pump myself up. That is not pumping. Alright, so we're just back to development. That was a nice little break. So here with this template, why am I here? Okay, yeah, so what we were doing just before I was talking about openings, was this nice flow design pressed that we have. So that's what it uses, and we want that for our screen. And whoops, why do I have that here? Okay. So we are going to save, as in implement saving for this particular part of what we want to do. I have to grab the name because we haven't done that yet, apparently. Do we always have that information? We do. I guess this is just kind of the weird optimization way that I did this type of thing here. What are potatoes? Let's see if I can type accurately. Okay, so we want to make path. That'll be a font. And then here. My pinkies are starting to get used to where all the funky keys are placed. I've used that name as well. So belt link array MC. Hopefully that works. Okay. Belt one name. Actually, wait, what? Room, so we just have that in I, and we just do a save override. And then just in case we edit that, and we just duplicate this to avoid anything funky from happening. Probably the most straightforward breakdown of what's happening on there. What's happening on there. That's a good choice of words. Uber. You love root. Selectively Reddit roots and make them as tasty as possible. That's what we did. Alright, that was incredibly useful. So here we have another statement. And here we just have very simple play into this particular Sicilian. Split link array. A lot of duplicating going on so we don't accidentally screw over stuff. I think, yeah, it's happened a lot in the past when I was first learning how to do this type of save thing. Alright, so I just did that. I'm proud to say that I'm not terrible at typing. Just how that worked out. That's good. I like how this album tries to follow an arc. Like it does, it works. Totally works, but it's good for doing that as well. So I don't need all of this. Okay. This one I'm just going to try to copy. Okay, so I need all our line updates and stuff to properly configure. Lovely. Are you a potato? Oh, wait, what? Okay. Whoops. Okay. Let's go. So for loading, we have to do easy checkbox and easy drop-down select. These were quite fun. They weren't, but we can pretend that they were. I like how I added the checkbox checker last second for one of those. But here we have a more interesting option. Well, not more interesting, it's our only option. Whoops. Okay. This goes above. Same with our easy... Where is it? Drop down select. I love this UI code. If we couldn't do that, oh my goodness, that would have been terrible if we had to write those line by line. So here I can just reasonably delete everything. Do we actually have any checkboxes I need to care about? So I can get rid of all of these for now, since they really don't matter. Except for this one. So after we're done this, we're going to be just checking what we have. This is going to be quite the interesting part. So if we look at what we have here, our belt link, first of all, we're taking the composition type. Okay. I need to make easy drop-down select simpler for me to understand. X.size, if xi equals y. So this is the list. I'm just going to put a glossary under here that is the actual option lists, because every time I see this, I think it's one of my only functions of just stubbornly not been doing that too hot with me right now. Why is the option we want to compare? Set it to X is the global info page, or whatever info we want to use. Great. How many things would it actually take though? What you guys think? I know that composition is still in integer, I think. At least for what we're doing right now. Material is an integer. Please give me that result. Yeah, that's correct. So composition's still an integer, so that's not something I have to work around with here. Quite fun. And I have to overhaul everything. So X is global info. So here we're just using material array. At least I think we are. Hopefully we are. Yeah. Recalls. Then is the optional option list. So we will actually have to plug it in here. Using this. So here we are doing that type array. And string. So name type. So we have that section down. So here we have a bunch more to do. Well, here we actually just have to fill it up. So what order are these in? Length, diameter, rim thickness, average mass. We can use interface 2. There should be interface 3. I think I can trust my own infrastructure that much. Next up is rim thickness. I find rim thickness very interesting since it's a carryover from the more manual extraction days, but especially with rifles that you can see and hold, like with the Enfield and that British series, where they still had to use those cartridges in their transition with the Martini Henry, Leamet Ford, stuff like that. It's quite good engineering to get it to a reliable working system. Given the reputation that it holds, like it's reliable. It's pretty cool. What? Okay, I'm being bamboozled. Fun. Alright, so here that's good. So I think there's 2 more settings I need to actually work it first, and then we are done and we can test it. That would have been really funny to see though. I like how case hardening always appears first on the list, although I always put the finish first. It's very annoying, but it is what it is really. Oh yeah, it's actually very interesting. On Monday I have to prepare for a lesson. A student couldn't make it to the Thursday lessons. If you know, you know. Sign up for the course. Just kidding. Okay, so we have our belt here. So our saving and loading should be working. So we can... Black button still doesn't work. I just think... So we did link it, I believe. It just didn't register because signals are created at the start of the game and are not reconnected with saving, obviously. Like, you wish it would, but that would definitely cause a lot more problems than what one is going to be willing to really deal with. Whew, that's good. That's not working yet. Let's link our material. What's our naming convention? I'm just gonna name it material reference. Name it signal. That one to material. We'll do that one, restart, and then load game. gonna have the belt links and stuff together in one patch. Hopefully people can see it and enjoy. That's really what it's all about. Also quite happy with our weekend marketing blitz campaign. We actually did increase our community by 10%. And did get 2 Reddit followers, which is interesting. I have 16 so far. Seems like a pretty big number. But I think some accounts have a lot. They just don't show it to people. I guess that's not the thing that they're looking for in terms of how clout works in Reddit. Okay. Cool stuff. Yay, material. I love material. I like how this can scroll as well. But here we should have the same spacing, although it starts getting very iffy along this way. There's also a nice little separation between the two. Although I think if you have vision problems, this is going to be difficult. Something I want to change in the future for sure. Although I can't do that right now at this instant. Alright. Are you a tardigrade? Is a great conversation starter to ask people whenever. I wanted to try saving and loading. This is going to be a disintegrating belt. It's going to be cheap, lightweight. We don't really want to do too much with it. So depending on how much things cost. What's the latest thing that we can get for a shape? So 6061 is a lot cheaper than the other. Oh, here. I think that's what I'm going to use. This thing is really interesting. It can only scroll like, to a certain point. So that does work. Oh. Hopefully more people can donate soon. Kind of need to repair some stuff. We're not gonna have any of this. What's the strength actually? 60, 61, 270. It's a bit weaker. That's something we can deal with. I don't it's gonna go through that much stress. Yeah, it's disintegrating. So let me check my file structure to see if that has changed appropriately. Yes, let's go. It has a bunch of hex. So if people can edit hex, they can edit the save files directly. That's not recommended, but I don't know if you don't like the UI or something. You also have to figure out what it means. I do not know what the hex means. What is hex? Baby, don't hurt me. Neck. Sub. No. Interesting. I should wonder if new magazines can go into the system. New design doesn't work yet. You can fix that very quickly. If your name starts with an A, type hi in chat. Okay, this is interesting. The autocannon naming isn't consistent. That's bothering me a bit. Amogus engine. I realize most of this was absolutely hilarious out of context, but I think it is within context as well. Wee. Your eyes have to kind of work, unfortunately. That's pretty difficult. Tungsten is double the cost. Gunpowder, 2.5. Smokeless powder. I like how this just flat doesn't matter anymore because we actually have the propellants. If you guys haven't seen the propellants yet, anyways guys, go download Rixas. But this sweet roster. We have M26, M10, M48, and RLG. With all these cool people. Yeah, M48 burns ridiculously fast. There's like nothing to say about it, except like, holy shoot, damn, that's a lot of pressure. So I genuinely want large grains, and they actually perform well, because I've actually seen non-noodle RLG do very well for medium-sized cartridges as well. Credit to Creepy for finding that out. Did you know that you're a sweet potato? Because you are sweet. Okay. Have these. Load. Press. So we don't have anything for the item list specifically. Yeah. What's it for the other? Oh, wait, what? Pop-up cartridge load index. So this one is reserved for our main indexes. Holy shit, that's loud. Wow. I did not realize my music was that loud. Yeah, I guess you kind of need people to care about your stream to actually figure out if the mix is okay. I look at my own streams a bit, but not that much to actually really compare it. What are Korok suits? Bum, bum, bum. What, man? Ragadada. I like how long these names are. This might need an ultra-wide monitor for Rixas. Did you know that? I don't think we want that. Yeah, so definitely want it to be a bit more sticky. Oh dear. We don't have a zero function for this one. Uh-oh. That's bad. I dislike this room very much. There's a delete as well. I'm missing quite a lot, actually. Uh... There's that firearm usage is not such a good template. Look at all this code. I love code. Yes, we don't need that. What is going on? Some of it's built fundamentally wrong. That's an issue. Okay, this current belt link is gonna this. The volume for each song is different. Quite annoying. When I talk, it's about -10 or kind of in the red range. But yeah, decibels are kind of... are they logarithmic or are they exponential? I don't remember. Not logarithmic, because it's exponentially louder. It's by some constant or something. Whoops. Okay, so we have our current belt length here. Okay. We should have this, and then this is not the correct argument. So we should just be putting in the actual index. How does it know, though? I guess it has to work, otherwise it just doesn't. So here we get this. I think saving is a little different compared to... Saving should be the exact same, though. Should be nothing wrong with it. But let's take a look. So here, where's our magazine designer? Already type. Why does it look different? That's bothering me. Okay. It is still lined up. Okay, where was the object? Okay. So I need to kind of compare the names here. So a good comparison for the name. How did I do it before? Oh, okay. Ah, I see. Very, very poggers. So here we can simply... There we go. One line of code makes all the difference in the world. So yeah, with something with the belts, what we really want to do is try getting in here. Feels so much different. It's jarring. It's correct, but it's just jarring. 661, disintegrating. That's right. What if I add these two? Let's see. Alright. What's this? Oh my goodness. Blah 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 blah. Okay. I think we're good for now. That's a bit scary. Hopefully that's resolved here, here. I like the song, but the loop part is not up for the task. Running, like shredding, save, load. It's not saving. That's a problem. Okay, so it's not saving, and the reason why that is because it's saved after I put in my name. So what I actually have to do here is to change... Oh, I don't have to change anything yet. But let's just get on new design pressed first, implemented. Okay. You got so far though, Geiho. Got the 呢個呢個新可以喺呢度做個 pressed function。跟住要改呢個做。你整咗呢個 load built link on screen. Then I have to say negative. 零下. That's more for weather though. That's like a less formal way. 零下1 though. -1 degrees. But that doesn't make sense if I just want to say -1 wrong. Here. Okay, so I have this implemented, and I need to implement delete. Some weird spacing. So here, I'm just going to copy, paste, and then edit. I feel like that's the best way to go about things right now. Should be fair. Nice. Okay. Yeah, got that link path. 呢個都有個 save area 哈。Yeah, no, I cannot loop this. It's bad to loop this. That's unfortunate. Belt link array. Belt link array. Name. It should be consistent and good. Now that I've got all of that functionality done. Oh, wait. Yeah, so we're not connecting that. For real? Do you really want to press the button? Did you really want to delete that? I don't think so. You didn't want to delete that, didn't you? You did not. So here, what we can do here is confirmation dialog. Pop up. Good. Nice. Confirmed. Now we call our other option spawn delete pressed. This is the proper wiring for it with this new system, which is actually quite interesting. Alright, so now that we have that, now we just need to wire all the buttons to update. This is going to be a fun task. What is that? Okay. Well, life is interesting. Well, this stream has a confirmed end time for now. Let's see how much we can grind by then. Now that socializing is good for your health. That's very loud. All my songs need proper balancing. Okay, so we have that down. Oops. I wish this game was 3D. That would be too much though, unfortunately. So we just have these. Making all the same ones so far. I like how it's pressed, since it's technically has that type of functionality. The one is special. Text change. All of these are gonna have to do their thing. So here we can do a belt link update. So I'm gonna have to restart the game to test with all these different new signals, because they are only changed when they are up. Whoops. I instinctively pressed the wrong thing to test. I've done a bit too much quality assurance for the map so far. Uh-oh. Anyways, here's the map if you haven't seen it yet. It's randomly generated currently each time. Very fun. Cool sandbox. Alright, and here we will have our belts. Hopefully this actually changes what's happening here. What? Can't do that. Stop being mean. Something interesting is happening though. Problem that I have to solve. Okay, so current belt link equals get belt link duplicate. User saver.save path text. Current belt link. If global info belt link array. Yada yada yada. This should have done something. So on belt link update, should have a feed to belt link class. Oh, okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I just forgot that completely. That's hilarious. So we're just gonna take this and then consume it. I should make a function for this. Like, this is a one-liner, but it's such a long one-liner. Like, every time I do this. Such a pain. I can do the same one, or... That should fix all of my troubles. Damn, can't believe I actually did that. Whoops. Okay, that's good. That's good. That works. Completely, everything has changed. Is the Belf rimless? Don't remember. Oh, it's a rimless one, okay. If that works, then the other option should work. Big should. Our lovely sample error. We can just change this back. Now that it should work. Actually, let's get these. Let's close. Restart. funny quality insurance. You always have to do automated tests. That's an interesting part of the design. I haven't really gotten to that scale or point yet where automated tests are really that required. Maybe some of them could have been a bit automated, but it would have been a bit more time to set it up than the normal, actually. Maybe not. I've actually pressed a lot of button stuff, so maybe that cancels out. Alright, we're good. Here, with our disintegrating bolt, that's good. So we can save here, and then here's a nice screenshotable thing. I'm going to share to the community so far of progress. I don't have a dedicated key reading. It's only for the map that I have a dedicated key reading for UI toggle and also full screen. This one's nice though. Doesn't this look lovely? That's really kind of besides the point. Okay, so now that we've got that, it's time to do some other functionality. But we have this. So now that we have established what the belt link is, now we have to define the internal functions. So what these internal functions should be, based on what I have for everything else here, we have get width, get height, that type of thing. So I think we can just start with those. I don't exactly remember what I want here. Let's see. Diameter, length, height, mass. Okay. Those are pretty simple. We can get all of those. Diameter is going to be a cartridge plus whatever material we are encasing it in to make it function a little bit better. So here, what we want... Why am I not back? Length. Height. Aren't they the same thing? With this? Yeah, I don't need more. Is there any other information that I would like to show? No, not really. Length and height are the same thing. That's funny. I don't really want to punish people for using disintegrating, because I don't think that technology is especially difficult, if you get what I mean. It's more along the lines of carrots are orange type of thing, you know? So here, these are all the things that we want to calculate. And we aren't storing them because, well, it's always going to be changing. I don't want people to cheat in the values. So diameter is pretty simple. By simple, I mean quite difficult. By quite difficult, I mean simple. This is going to be simply so simple, but cartridge diameter, and we are going to do, or we can just do it times, what's an actual belt? 1 point, I think it's less than 5% of how big it is. And it's gonna look at like a Vickers belt for reference. Yeah, so they aren't actually all that big. They just need to be sturdy enough to actually carry them around. I think it's not really like a civil engineer type of thing, though. It's more of like mechanical design. People back then used common sense to see what works, but common sense is still calculations in Rixas, so that's not possible. I think we just do like 1%. 1%'s good. So if it's an 8, wait a second. What's this then? What is this value? I think I did change this last time as well, but it was a bit difficult to see what was going on there. What is your favorite fruit? Comment your answer below to get a gift raffle. Cartridge diameter 1.01. What's the prize? The prize is a 2007 Ford Fiesta with about 30,000 mileage. It's green right now, so yeah. Cartridge diameter here, 1.01. I think that's fair so far. And we don't really care about the rim, it's just different for a rim round. And so we don't really care about that value too much. Gonna have to be at least half the length to be a bit sturdy. Let me dig into the brain of another function here. Oh dear. Yeah, did you know that? This is fun. This is not fun. It is fun, but it's a bit annoying to implement code-wise, you already kind of understand what you're doing. What's the difference between disintegrating? I don't think disintegrating... Is it less or more sturdy? Disintegrating vs. It looks the same, basically. Like, damn. Kinda... It's kind of the same. It looks like to be held together by, like, a corkscrew. What I see here. That just gets removed? Very interesting. I'll just make it the same for now. I think kind of makes the most sense. Okay, so we are going to get the actual diameter. And what that is simply... So we have the volume of two different cylinders. I always forget how to calculate the volume of a cylinder. Something pi to the power something pi, and then the diameter divided by 2 multiplied by 2 should be that. We have this. Here. You're gonna have a masterclass on how to use the POW function. Did you know you can also take POWs and Rixas? So that's the volume of the outer circle. That's pretty simple. Alright, I'm gonna have to do something that might last a little bit. Hopefully I'll be back in an hour or so. But yeah, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe to get the more connection. But yeah, have a good day, have a good night, wherever you are. See you later.